Hello, I am Amit and welcome to this video. This is going to be a quick start introduction of Dino and how we can use it. Let's start. What is Dino? Dino is just like Node.js but with various add-ons. It is secure. A secure runtime for JavaScript and TypeScript. In Node.js, you can access any file, network. There is no need of any kind of permission to access it. But in Dino, need explicit permission to access files, network, or environment. Let's understand this thing with an example. But before writing our first program, let's set up the Dino first. So to do a setup, so let's move to Dino land. And from here, you can install Dino. So there is a link called install. And based on your operating system, you can install it. Like I am using Mac, so I need to use this command. So Dino is a single executable and it does not have any dependency. So it is pretty much easy to install. So I need to just copy this command. If I am on a Mac or Linux environment, if I am in a Windows environment, I can use this command, or I can use chocolate, or I can use scope. Just move to the terminal, and in this terminal I just simply copy this command to install it. So copy this command and simply paste this, and then I press the enter. Right now I'm using the Mac environment, that's why I use a curl command. If you're using a different set of environment, like you are using Windows, so you can use PowerShell. So here I press the enter. It is start downloading it. Here it is downloaded. So it has a zip file and it extracted and it is downloaded here. This is the location. You need to set the path of this location. So I'm just opening my bash profile. And here I already set the path because I already installed this. And here is the path. Here I set the path of Dino. So this is the install location and this is the path I have set it. Once this thing is done, if you are in a Windows environment, you need to just go to the environment variable. From here you can verify your installation by typing Dino ---- version command. You will be able to see that's a Dino version, and you have the V8 version as well as you have the TypeScript. So it has the support of TypeScript as well as the JavaScript, and you can type Dino ---- to see the commands. Even you can start the Dino shell. So if you type Dino, so it will open a shell, and from here you can write any JavaScript here, like I define it here. You can just check type of E here. You can do console.log here. So it is more like the node shell. Here it is. So this shell is working now. Now, for example, I want to run my first program. So I need a VS Code for this. So I just move to this VS Code and I open a folder called Dino, and from here I just write my first program. Like I told you, it has a support of JavaScript and TypeScript, so you can write any kind of script here. So I start with a TypeScript. So let's say I will just name it 1.ts. So from here I can write the TypeScript thing. In VS Code there is an extension available for Dino, so you can just go to the extension area and you can type the Dino extension. And from here you can install it. I already installed this just to save the time. From here, if you have the extension, from here you can write. From here you can write the code. For example, I just start with a very basic example. I just specify function add, and I just specify x number. So because I am using TypeScript, so I will define the types as well. And from here I just simply say return x plus y, and I want the result of this. So I just say result number, and I just simply call this. And from here I just simply print this thing. So I will say result is result. And I want to test this, so I just save this thing and I open a terminal here. And from terminal, I will simply say Dino and then run and then name of your TS file. So when you type this thing, it will first compile your code from this location and then you run this thing. If you do not make any changes and if you try to run it again by specifying this command, so it would not compile again. If you have any changes, then it will do the compilation. So it is pretty much smart with the setup. Now we have done by running our first program. And now let's see the security feature in Dino programs. So let's start with reading a file and we will see how the security work with a file. So we are going to read a file. So I just make it reading file.ts, and from here I need to use the Dino standard libraries. So Dino has their own standard libraries and it is coming from dino.land. So we'll use with import. So there is nothing called require as compared to a Node.js. It has something called import. So it uses ES module as a standard. So it is not going to use the common JS library. So from here, I just simply use read file str. So it read a file and return a string. And from it is coming from, so it does not have any package manager. So it used direct URLs and it download the URLs. So I will use HTTPS and it would be a dino.land. It is coming from there, and std, that's a standard, and fs for file system, and mod is for the module, and it is .ts file. So this is the dependency and it will be downloaded in our local machine and it will be cached in our local machine. So first time it will be get downloaded. So let's start with reading a file. So for reading a file, I just simply say read file str. And for reading a file, suppose I want to read the same file, that is a reading file.ts file. So I just simply use the root path, this one. And from here, I just specify the encoding scheme. So I will say encoding and I will say UTF-8. It is UTF-8. And it does not use any callback mechanism like Node.js. It used a promises. So it is promise based API. So goodbye to callback else. Now we are using the promises. So it returned the promises. So promises is for all the APIs. They do not use the callbacks. Now we have a promise. So I can just checking, is this the promises get resolved? If it is resolved, so it will give you the content. So the content will become up. So we will just print the content, console.log, and content is content. So this content is coming up, and from here I just specify catch and then error, and I will say console.log if error is coming up, so error and then err, right? So I just align this thing. So even if you want to format this thing, you have something called Dino and FMT for format, and then specify reading file.ts. So it will do the formatting of it. So if you just see, the alignment is automatically happen. So FMT is a format. So it is a tool present in Dino. So through Dino FMT, you can do the formatting as well as. So let's run this thing. So I will say Dino and I will say reading file.ts, and I just need to specify the run, and then I just press enter. So it will compile it and it will generate some error. So it is saying you need to just put unstable, because they are saying this API is still not stable. It is an unstable API because Dino is very new right now. Even it is not production ready completely. So now from here Dino run, and I just specify -unstable, and I will say reading file.ts. And now it is trying to compile it, but here it is giving the permission denied error. So it is secure by default. It need the permission to access your files. It need a permission to read your file. That's why there is something called allow read flag. We need to put this flag, then we are able to read a file. So it required the permission. That's why it is secure. So I hope this thing is clear. So when we read it, you will see it will read the entire file from here. If we check it out, so we specify this command, and here is the output, right? So it read this entire file. So I hope we understand how we read a file. So far we have done with the secure feature. Now we are moving to the feature number 2. Dino has a support of JavaScript and TypeScript. You can write JavaScript and TypeScript both. It is built on top of V8 and Rust and Tokyo. Its runtime environment based on V8 engine, Dino written in Rust language instead of C++ like Node.js in C++, and built with Tokyo library for the event loop for asynchronous stuff. Earlier, Node using libuv event loop for asynchronous stuff. It has standard modules that is reviewed. So this reviewed modules is available in Dino land std. So they have provided so many standard modules like date time, formatting, fs file system, which we use in file handling, hash, http, IO, path, etc. So these modules do not have external dependency, and they are reviewed by the Dino core team. So it is set of high quality and secure codes. So it's time to say goodbye npm. So well, I'm just kidding, because npm is the vast library as compared to this standard one. So if we just check this out, so from here Dino land, we have this manuals available, and we have the standard library. I just move back to here. Here it is. This is the standard library. So from here we can see what are the modules are available as a standard. Now moving to the feature which is built-in tool like testing, formatting, and linting. So it has a support of these tools, like we have used formatting, FMT, for format the things. So it has a support of this. So let's move and just see the example. So if we write some code and our code is not formatted, let's say my code is not formatted in this way. Let's suppose this is the unformatted code and I want to format it. So it has a tool available for formatting. So just move to this place and just save this code. This is the saved version, and from here I just say Dino FMT and I just say reading file.ts. So it will just format this thing. So it has a inbuilt tool for formatting, it has an inbuilt tool for testing, it has an inbuilt tool for bundle your code. So if you want to bundle the code, it means your code has a lot of dependencies, and if you want to bundle it, so the dependency will be go inside a one single bundle. So you can share the bundle and it will be run as an independent file. So how to create a bundle file? So creating this bundle file, you need to specify Dino and name of your file with a special command called bundle. So if you specify bundle and then you specify reading file.ts, and I want to make a bundle file. So if, for example, if you forget to specify the file name, so it will be print out the bundle file on a standard module, I mean the standard output. So if you just do press enter, so it will say that's an unstable thing again. So you need to just mark it as an unstable right now. And if you run it, so it will just output the bundle file on your standard output device. So if you want to keep it somewhere, so you just specify reading file dot bundle dot ts, let's say. So if I do this thing, so it will bundle it. So it will generate this bundle file, and it has all the required dependencies in a one single file. So moving to the next feature. So it is promise-based API and it has a top level await. So it is promise-based API, like we have seen this thing already in a previous example. Here we have seen it has the promise-based support. It does not provide you the callback things. Now it has the top level await thing also. In your ECMA 8 if you're using. So you have await option, but it must be wrapped inside a function with a async keyword. But now you have a top level await thing. So let's understand this example. So from here, I just want to fetch some data from some server, and I want to use the await feature it. So it provides the fetch functionality here. So fetch is a function here, and I just want to, let's say, I just want to call some URL. So I just go to some fake web service. So I just move to JSON placeholder. It is acting as a fake web API for me. So from here, I just scroll down, and here I have a URL for users. So I want to consume this URL. So I just copy this thing and paste it here. So this is the URL, and I specify the URL here. So it by default it is going to return a promise, but I want to put a await. So I have the top level await feature which is available now, and it will generate a response for me. So the response is coming up, and I want to convert this response in a JSON object. So I will just say const JSON equals to response.json. So it will be converted into an object, and I want to just print this thing. So console.log and JSON. So let's try this thing. So I just clear the console, and I will say Dino run, and then I will specify await demo.ts. So first it will do compilation, and now it is saying permission denied error because it is secure. So it is telling me you need to specify allow net flag because you're accessing some outside URLs. It means you're doing the network calls. So I just clear this thing, and from here I will specify this URL and just run this thing. So it is saying promise pending, because why it is saying promise pending, because when I do this await, so it is giving a response, but again from the response.json it is giving a promise. So I want to do the await here also. So it will give the JSON. So if I run this, so it will give a JSON. So this is the JSON which is coming from JSON placeholder. So it has a top level await support. Dino uses ES module as the default module system, whereas Node.js uses CommonJS. Let's understand with an example. Let's see ES module as a standard. So to understand ES module as a standard, I just create a folder, and I just make a folder name called math. And in maths, I just create a file called calc.let's say JS. I will create. And from here, I simply specify, I just create an object, and from here I just specify a function add, and inside add, let's say I have a variable called a and b, and I want to do some computation on this, return a plus b, right? So I just create this in one JS file, and suppose now I want to do communication between two JS files. So I will make it here the caller.js. So this caller.js is going to consume this math. So in this calc.js, I just simply say export. So because we are using ES module as a standard, so I use export. So this object is get exported. Once it is get exported, I can import it from here. So I just simply say import. And in this import, I will import this obj, and this obj is coming from this location. So it is coming from math/calc.js. So here I am using this ES module, and from here I will just call add, and in this add I specify the arguments, and it is going to give me a result. So I just get this result, and here I am just calling it. So result is as this result. So let's try this thing. I just writing why I'm writing that. So from here I just say Dino run and I call with a caller .js. So it is giving the result is 30. So here we have seen how we can use this ES modules as a standard in Dino. Dino is for front end and as well as for the back end. So Dino has a support of front end object as well. So its main goal is to be a browser compatible. So it provides some built-in objects. So it provides a support of window object and it has a support of fetch. From here, if you type window, so it has a support of window. So you can use the window.add event listener, you can use set interval, you can use set timeout. So window is acting as a global object here and it has a support of fetch. So it is for front end and it is also for the back end. Now time to see from where Dino is coming. Dino is actually invented by Dell. Dell is a father of Node.js as well as the Dino. Dino initially announced on JS Conference 2018 by Dell and its first initial release is coming on 13th May and its stable release is on 3rd June 2020. Finally, now time to see the difference between the Dino and Node. Dino does not use npm, it uses module references as URL or file path. Node is using npm, that is a node package manager, to pick third-party packages. Dino APIs are based on promises, where Node APIs are based on the callback. For Node, there is no permission required. It can access any file, any network, any environment variables. But in Dino, it is much more secure. It needs the permission for file access, for the network access, for the environment access. In Dino, ES module is a standard. In Node, we use CommonJS. Now it's time to see the conclusion. For Node.js developer, guys, Node.js is not going to anywhere. There are some reasons. Dino is a newbie for backend and frontend. As compared to Node.js, Node.js is mature and it has big ecosystem. It has the npm and it has lakhs of modules there. Right now, Dino is not used by any big shot. So that's all guys. To watch more videos on latest trends in technologies, do subscribe our channel.